My name is Andrew Smith. A little background about myself. I'm the executive chef over at Red Shores. Graduated at the Culinary Institute in 2005. Moved around Canada a little bit. Now I'm here with my beautiful family. My wife Meredith, she's healthy today, as well as my son. So yeah, we're gonna work with some beautiful PEI potatoes. They're on here boiling right now. We're gonna turn them into a croquette. The way I kind of look at it is, we're going to put a lot of the flavors that you would put into a stuffed baked potato, but instead of putting them back into a potato, we're going to turn them into a nice ball or a sphere. We're going to bread them and then deep fry them. So nice crispy outside, but nice soft texture on the inside. And then we're not going to stop there. Then we're going to use some Deep Roots Distillery, the maple liqueur, and we're going to make some candied bacon as a nice little garnish on top. So hopefully it's going to hit a lot of nice flavor profiles. So right now we have potatoes on. While they're cooking, we're going to start with our bacon. So we have some beautiful bacon, and we're going to take some maple syrup, some maple liqueur, as well as some brown sugar. And there is a recipe, and it's on canadasfoodisland.ca. And with any recipe, they can be tweaked for your own taste buds. So if you like something spicy, if you like something sweeter, you're more than able to adjust and make it your own. I love cooking because I love a lot of free pouring. So we'll mix up some brown sugar, maple syrup, and I wish we had a camera, but so we're going to take that. There's many different ways you can do it. I just like spooning it right over. No need to dirty up a lot of dishes in your house. And that's one thing I like about this recipe, is it is something that you can do in your house, even if you want to turn this bacon into a nice breakfast one morning. So you know what, I have a few extra minutes this morning. So just bear with me while I do this. We'll get that in the oven. We already had a preset at 375. That went for about 15 minutes. So we're doing a nice liberal coating on it. Yep. So just like so, all those sugars will caramelize once they're in the oven. So how does that look to start? So we'll come back to that. We're going to check our potatoes and hopefully we are done. We might need 2 more minutes. Should we strike up a conversation? How is everyone? Is there anybody who traveled pretty far to be here today? Anyone from the other side of the country? Anyone from PEI? Woo! Go PEI! Okay, so I think the potatoes are good here. I'm gonna just take a step and strain it.
Andrew, can you explain why it's best to cook potatoes in cold water?
Yeah. So great question. Potatoes are a root vegetable. So the question was, is there an advantage to cooking from cold water or hot water? Some of us, we're always in a rush and we're like, let's put hot water. It's going to cook them quicker. But then what that will do is it'll cook from the outside in, and it really doesn't cook it any faster, and it's a more uneven cooking process. So any type of root vegetable, whether it's carrots, potatoes, always start with cold and bring it up to temperature, and then it'll cook more evenly, and you won't really have those crunchy bits where you're like, what did I do wrong? So we're going to take these potatoes, going to take our trusty masher, mash, mash, mash. Nice to get some anger out. And the beautiful thing about potatoes is you can have them for any meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. Sunday afternoon at Founders Hall. And then once we have the mash, what we'll do is we'll add a little butter. And it's a personal preference. If you want to, this is room temperature butter, but if you want to add and get butter and cream on a stove and pour it in hot, you're more than able to as well. But we love butter. Let's get it all in.
How much potatoes do you have before you add all this everything?
There's about 3 pounds. There is a recipe on the website, but put about 3 pounds in this recipe. Nice little cream. Add bacon. And if you don't like bacon or if you don't like cheese, feel free to make it your own. Add everything in. Some nice chives. Don't forget to season. And I like seasoning my potatoes before I cook them as well. So here's a little salt. And some pepper. And we'll mix, mix, mix. Get all those flavors together. More cheese. That is cheddar cheese. So get all those flavors in here. How does that look? Can everyone see? One, we got a jumper. So then from there, what we're going to do is feel free to do any size you want. But we're going to take a scoop and as always, feel free to taste it before you go to this step. That's an important part of cooking. There's no sense of waiting until the very end to see where did I go wrong. So I like to taste every step of the way. So just for the essence of time, we're going to do a few. And then we're going to get into our breading. So one little trick I love about breading, and it just so happens we're in the month of February, but I have a little thing that I stuck with me for many, many years. And you're probably wondering, what is he talking about? So anytime you bread something, I think of February. So you want to go with a flour, egg, breading, F-E-B. Did anyone hear that before? Okay. We planted her. We're going to take some eggs. So basically, what a breading station is dry, wet, dry. Meaning you start with the dry, the flour. And I always like adding a little water. To the eggs. So we have some flour that has some salt and pepper in it. We have some egg, and then we have some panko and some parsley. Just going to put some gloves on. And whenever you bread, normally we keep one hand for dry ingredients, one hand for wet. That just alleviates the big ball at the end. And my only other recommendation would be, if you have time, let this cool down in the fridge just to make sure it's firm. It'll make your breading a lot easier. So we start with the flour, go into the egg. Oh yeah, yeah. Flour, we'll toss it around in the egg mixture. We'll try to strain that excess egg off. And then we come in with a beautiful breaded potato. So we already have a deep fryer set up over here. We're going to pop them in the fryer. We're going to let that get nice and crispy.
What temperature is that?
The temperature of the fryer is 375. That's pretty much your generic frying temperature. We're just going to go back over to the bacon for a minute. I know it looks like it's burned around the inside, and that's primarily just because of the sugars. But if you look at that bacon, I don't think anyone would turn that away. So we'll come back to that one. And then another minute or two, we're going to get into samples. Who wants to try it?
Woo!
Anyone have any questions, comments so far? Just to thin it out so it's not as heavy as a consistency.
What kind of oil do you use?
Canola, vegetable. So there's a lot of different oils out there, and they all have different smoking temperatures. So what the difference of smoking temperatures is, the higher temperature, it won't smoke. So some of them at 350, they'll start, like, if this was extra virgin olive oil, we wouldn't be able to do this temperature without it filling the room full of smoke. Yeah, we can start. So we'll let that go for a few minutes, and I always like finishing them off in the oven. And we're going to serve this with a chive aioli. Aioli is basically garlic infused mayonnaise. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming. And thanks to our friends at PEI Potatoes, Deep Roots Distillery, and of course, Canada's Food Island.